While making some distinctive research on countries and their heritage, we found a list of countries that claim to have the most cultural heritage in the globe. Sadly, this list made by some researchers omitted some paramount countries in ancient African continent. It has been observed with no doubt that oftentimes African countries are not regarded when it comes to its potentials. However, when it comes to negative reports or criminality, Africa becomes number one on the list. It is quite unfortunate that because of this, some Africans do not even know the potentials of African heritage. According to statistics, African country ranks up to top 1 to 5 countries with rich cultural heritage. But very few documentations or researchers talk about this fact. In the list of countries found were Italy, Mexico, Japan, and 7 other countries from Europe and the Asia continent. Giving attention to just Egypt, which happens to be dominated by purely Arabs, which are whites from the Middle East, sharing borders with the Africa from the north. Black African countries are never mentioned in anything that has to do with great potentials. A country like Mali, for example, Mali's history extends back to the ancient Djinn, a city that dates to at least 200 BCE, and to the three empires. These empires brought together many people and cultures. The enormous scope of the empire makes Mali a cultural source of West Africa. However, Mali was never mentioned in this list. Another perfect example is the multilingual Nigeria, which encompasses a wide range of ethnic groups. Nigeria is the most dominated nation with black Africans in the world. In Nigeria is the beautiful and very rich cultural heritage of the Great Benin Kingdom, which is dated back in time. The Benin Kingdom is known for its very rich cultural artifacts. These same artifacts were stolen by the Westerners in 1897 and spread around the world. Few years ago, a single Benin artifact was sold for £10 million in the United Kingdom. This same Benin Kingdom with such rich artifacts was not mentioned in the list. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at the 10 countries found during our research on this list. According to this list made by some researchers, the first country here is Italy. Italy is a South Central European country whose boot-shaped borders extend to the Mediterranean Sea. It is said that the country's historical sites, world-renowned cuisine, and geographical beauty make it a popular destination for more than 40 million tourists each year. The nation is home to Mount Etna, Europe's tallest and most active volcano, and houses 2 countries within its borders. Its history started with the Etruscans, an ancient civilization that was eventually supplanted by the Romans in the 3rd century BC. Italy's city-states were the first to embrace the European Renaissance. From the artwork of Leonardo da Vinci, the fashion houses of Milan, Italy's cultural influence is said to have been profound. The country's regional cuisine inspires chefs around the world. Italy is ranked 100% in terms of culture and heritage. Next on that list is Greece. Greece is located in the southeastern Europe. Greece is an independent nation and is young, existing since the 19th century. Its civilization, however, is one of history's oldest and most influential, credited with creating the concept of democracy as well as the ancient Olympic Games and laying Western foundations in science, the arts, and philosophy. Greece's landscape of mountains, hills, and coastline, and its rich cultural heritage makes it one of the most visited countries in the world, and it is ranked 99.7% in terms of culture and heritage. Next on this list that we found is Spain. According to this research, a number of independent kingdoms united in 1492 to form the Kingdom of Spain, a cultural patchwork that continues to shape the modern nation's dynamic identity. This research states that Spain's traditions like flamenco music and dance are a source of unity and national pride. It is ranked as 98.4% in terms of culture and heritage. So, number 4 on this list is France. The influence of France on the world, both in the past and today, is difficult to overstate according to this research. Located in Europe, France is one of the world's oldest countries, and its reach extends around the globe through science, politics, economic, and perhaps above all, culture. Starting in the Middle Ages, France evolved through kingdom, empire, and finally into a republic. It was one of the first nations to champion the rights of individuals. The French people have traditionally been a mix of Celtic, Germanic, and Latin ethnicities. Waves of immigration in the 20th and the 21st century. France has a rich cultural heritage. French literature began in the Middle Ages, and the country has a long history in fine art, music, and dance. Cinema occupies an important place in the country's cultural life. French cuisine is popular around the world as the wine produced in the country. It is ranked 90.8% in terms of heritage and 97.5 in terms of cultural influence. Number 5 on this list is Mexico. Mexico, a home of the Maya, Aztec, and other ancient civilizations. Mexico was ruled by Spain starting in the early 16th century, administered by Spain for 3 centuries. The country achieved independence early in the 19th century, first as a short lived empire and then as a republic in 1824. Mexico is a home to the world's largest population of Spanish speakers, and it has made a large cultural imprint in Latin America and beyond. The country's famous writers include Samuel Ramos, Octavio Paz, and Carlos Fuentes. Mexico's best known art form is the mural, which draws from the art of Aztec, Maya, and other pre Columbian civilizations. The country's film industry is one of the region's largest, and many Mexican actors and filmmakers have received international recognition for their work. It is ranked 85.0% in terms of heritage and 43.4% in terms of cultural influence. So we are moving to number 6, which is Japan. Japan is known worldwide for its traditional arts, including tea ceremonies, calligraphy, and flower arranging. The country has a legacy of distinctive gardens, sculpture, and poetry. Japan is home to more than a dozen UNESCO World Heritage Sites and is the birthplace of sushi, one of its most famous culinary exports. The country has developed many forms of martial arts. Its famous traditional sport is sumo wrestling, which can trace its origin to the 8th century. Japan is one of the world's most literate and technological advanced nations. It is an East Asian country made up of 4 primary islands and more than 6,800 others. While most Japan is covered by mountains and heavily wooded areas, the country's people lead a distinctive urban life. Long culturally influenced by its neighbors, today the country blends its ancient tradition with aspects of Western life. Japan is ranked 80.8% in terms of cultural influence and heritage. And so, number 7, we have Egypt. Egypt, with vast swaths of desert in its east and west and the rich Nile River Valley at its heart, is site to one of the world's earliest and greatest civilization. Its location at the northeast corner of Africa, bordering the Mediterranean Sea, has made it cultural and trading center. But its location has also made a prize to claim by empires and put it at the center of social and religious movement. Arab and Islamic traditions shaped the country's culture. The country is a literary center for the Arab world and art forms such as music combine Arab, African Mediterranean, and Western elements. Egypt is ranked 80.1% in terms of heritage and 35.8% in terms of cultural influence. And so, number 8 is Turkey. Turkey, founded in 1923, Turkey is a home to a unique intersection of culture as the nation bridges Asia and Europe. The country is overwhelmingly Muslims. Extravagant mosques and cathedrals can both be found within blocks of the Grand Bazaar in the city of Istanbul. Turkey is ranked 79.7% in terms of heritage and 35.8% in terms of cultural influence. Number 9, we have Thailand. Thailand is one of the world's most visited countries, though tourism accounts for just 7% of the gross domestic product. Buddha figures are ever present in the land of smiles, where bustling modern cities are juxtaposed with ancient ruins, glistening beaches, and gilded temples. The nation is a home to acclaimed Thai message and cuisine that is known to balance sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and spicy flavors. The Thai ideas of monarchy dates to the 13th century, and today royalty plays a vital role in the everyday life. The country's law criminalizes defaming, insulting, or threatening the king, queen, heir apparent, or regent. The country has a ranking of 79.2% in terms of heritage and 46.3% in terms of cultural influence. And now, number 10 and the last on this list that we found is India. Located in South Asia, India sits on a peninsula that extends between the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. The country, the birthplace of Hinduism and Buddhism, is the world's second most populous nation after China. India is known for its historical architectural treasures, including the Taj Mahal, Hamjin Tobe, the Sun Temple at Konarak, and other vast temple complexes. But modern India has also made its fair share of cultural contributions. The film industry based in Mumbai, nicknamed Bollywood, makes more feature length films than any other nation in the world. The country has had three Booker Prize winning authors since 1918, including Salma Rushdie, and produced world famous virtuosos Ravi Shankar and Ali Kabir Khan. India is ranked 76.3% in terms of heritage and 35.8% in terms of cultural influence. Now, with these listed countries and no recognition from Black African countries, can one say that those that came up with this research and list are being biased in the way African continent is being rated? Well, one cannot say the list is completely out of point. These listed countries in their own jurisdiction have their culture and heritage. But when it comes to ranking the richness of this cultural heritage in the global spheres, it will be of good deal if the honor is given to whom it is due. For example, in this research, we could vividly see more than two countries from Europe and Asia continent appearing at the top, while countries like Mali, Nigeria, and other African countries with rich cultural heritage were omitted. Let's know your take on this. Drop your comment in the comment section below. And now we've come to the end of today's program on Nebo TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for staying till the end. If you are a returning subscriber, we want to tell you thank you. And if you're joining us for the first time, we also want to tell you thank you. Kindly smash the subscription button, turn on the notification bell, like and share this video with your loved ones. Till next time, my name remains Onome Agbaji. Stay inspired.